Hey everybody, I have a video for you today, and this is about the rappers that I hated at first. Okay, so maybe I didn't hate them, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but dislike. So I'm gonna get right into it. The first rapper who I did not like at first was Jackie Y. And I know that a lot of people have problems with her voice. They think it's annoying or whatever else. And I didn't really think her voice was annoying. I just didn't like it. It wasn't pleasing to the ear. But for some reason, I was like, you know what? There's something about her. There has to be because I just trust Swing's judgment. And I knew that if he saw something in her, then she must be really good. So I just kept paying attention to her. Anytime an Indigo music song would come out with her on it, I would listen to it. And finally, a song came out called Brew Star. And that's when I finally was like, okay, I mess with this girl. That song, it's crazy because she was on there with Young B, Kid Millie, who we'll talk about later, Noel, who are some of my favorite people in K hip hop, and she outshined all of them. Like I feel like she was that whole song, and that's when I started to like her. And that song kind of reminded me of like Lil Uzi Vert's EXO Tour Life. If you guys know that song, of course you do. It's so popular. But yeah. And so after that, I just got more and more into her. I really liked her Enchanted Propaganda album, of course. But yeah, Jackie overall is just really talented. And I think once people adjust to the sound of her voice because it's really unique, then they're definitely gonna get a lot out of her music because it's really catchy and it's fun to listen to. So, yeah, that was the first person who I did not like at first. The next one is coming up now. So, I mentioned this person already when I was talking about Jackie Y, but that person is Noel. I remember him from High School Rapper 1, and I remember there was so much hype about him and all of that. So I decided to go look up his performance from the High School Rapper episode. And when I listened to it, I was just kind of like that's it? That's the hype? Because there's like, I thought there was better people on the show, like so many better people, but he was the one person that I was getting asked about over and over and over. I guess like his episode was early on into the season, so they hadn't been able to see the full range of talent on the show yet. He had performed the song IDFWU, and back then I thought that song was like overrated or whatever, but now I actually like the song. In addition to that, I just thought people were overrating him because of his looks, because a lot of people were talking about how he's handsome or whatever, and I was like, yeah, it's really not that deep. But over time, I just really grew to like Noel once he got on Indigo Music and I saw his actual range of what he can do. I ended up thinking that he's one of the most talented people in K hip hop. And I still think that way. He's incredibly talented, especially for his age. There's people who have been in K hip hop for like a decade or more, and some of them still aren't as good as him. And so yeah, I'm glad I really grew to like Noel because now he's one of my favorite people in K hip hop and he just makes such great songs. So, again, thanks, Swings. That was a great pick. So, the third person on this list is Gray. And again, kind of like Noel, I was just thinking like everybody thinks that he's so great, but I just don't see it. And I think a lot of people only really like him because he's good looking. Because that was the one thing I heard about Gray. I heard that Gray is handsome and people ranting and raving about his looks for years before I actually sat down and listened to his music. So I was like, okay, so what songs do you guys actually like about him? Do you guys even listen to his music? Because I've never heard you talk about it. Anyway, he gets to Show Me the Money 5, and he was really quiet on that season and didn't really have that much to say. But eventually, he came out with the song Comfortable, which is still one of my favorite Show Me the Money songs till this day. And it had, one Simon D and Gray. And I was in love with that song, and I was just so thankful for Gray. And then I saw him perform throughout the show and I just thought he was so good. And Even till this day, I'm still really thankful for Gray, not only for that song, but just because he's helped out a lot of people in the Korean hip hop industry. There's people who aren't that popular and can't make him that much money, but because he just likes music so much and helping artists, he helps them out and produces their songs and things like that. So I think that's really cool, and I'm just really thankful that he gives opportunities to these smaller rappers as opposed to just being like, oh no, it's not enough money. And he's actually pushing the whole scene forward because of that. And on top of that, his songs are just so good. um, I hate when people overrate, only talk about his looks or something like that, because his music is stands on its own, even if you've never seen his face. So yeah, that was what I have to say about Gray. Moving on to the next person. Number 4 on this list is Kid Millie. And Kid Millie, when I first saw him get announced as a member of Indigo Music, I looked at his picture and I was like, what the heck? Like, what is he even wearing? Because he was just wearing a really eccentric Kid Millie type of outfit. And I was like, this kid, I don't know. So anyway, I finally went and listened to his music because unlike Jackie Y, I forgot to tell you guys this, but I had heard Jackie Y's song before she signed to Indigo Music a few years before, and I didn't really like her voice at the time. I like it now. But Kid Millie, I didn't hear him until after he signed. And when I listened to his first song, I don't remember what it was, but I thought it was not good at all. And I was like, how did he end up on a label with someone like Young B and Swings? Because I just don't see the talent. And then later on, I listened to like his most famous song. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Why do F boys hang out on the net? And not only did I think the song title was stupid, but I thought the song was just terrible too. Uh, I probably got like 30 seconds, maybe more into it, but I just thought it was terrible. But over time, I really grew to like him. I listened to that song again and I was like, oh, like this actually is a jam, you know? So I really liked that. But in addition to that, I really started to appreciate his style. I think he's one of the most stylish people and the most original people in K hip hop. I also think that he has one of the best flows. And yeah, I just like him overall as an artist. He's actually one of my favorite people as well in K hip hop right now. So it's funny how that works out. The final person on the list, and you guys are probably going to hate me for this, and you'd be right, is DPR Live. I thought he was so overrated. I heard so much about him for like a year or two, and I finally listened to one of his songs. It was either Thirst or Know Me. I can't remember which one, but I listened to it and I was like, this, all of that hype for this, like, this isn't that good. It's just not. Um, yeah, and I just thought it was really, and I hate this word, but I thought he was really basic and not all that special. I just did not see what all the fuss was about, especially to that level, because you guys all know how people talk about DPR Live. Like, he's one of those that are universally liked for the most part. So you guys already know. But finally, when the Her EP came out and somebody recommended it to me, I really sat down and listened to it, and I thought it was like the best thing ever. And that's when my opinion about DPR Live completely changed. And now I'm just like everybody else. I think he's one of the best people ever, and everybody should stand him and love him and all of that. Yeah, I think he's one of the most original, and I can't really think of anybody who sounds like him. So now I definitely see what people saw in him, and that's really cool. I just can't wait to see more from him. It's always funny to see how at first sometimes you don't like an artist and then they become some of your favorite people in the scene. Because a lot of people on this list, actually all of the people on this list are my favorite artists, some of my favorite artists in the Korean hip hop scene now. So it's funny how that changed. If I still hated them, I definitely wouldn't make this video. But yeah. Anyway, please go watch some more of my videos if you would like to. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below about some of the artists that maybe you didn't like at first, but now you do like. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.